Now I understand where you're coming from with that sentiment. Now, I want to see, can they build their way to a win now that we're moving into Wrangle for round 2? So, I guess like it's a even spread, so Talon could actually plot something up, and wow, it's a complete opposite of where the flight path is. That circle goes all the way up north that nobody really benefits. So Blue, we talk about them trying to build something. I'm a little disappointed that none of them are named Bob in essence, but regardless of the situation, we are in for this fight, and Madsen goes in for the trade, gets the first knock onto the members of Blue.
Oh, it's aggressive as ever here. 5-2, trying to rally back. Manzi, bare life. This guy, right, Manzi, he's been doing a big splash in that first game. Right now, nice straightforward alongside Ryan. Ryan as well, another stellar player from the team. And being able to take down Glue this early, this is a big W for them. Because in terms of points, they are lacking. And you can tell that they're really looking to play catch up. Still, Hexa still very much up here. Noel needs to be picked up. So they need to make something happen and fast. All four alive and running. Ryan rallies together. And Hazard also will fall. Helton dropping down right at the nick of time. And Glue, they're going to be going out without any points.
I guess we hyped up a little too much, and 5-2, they absolutely made it rain from above. We're going to make it rain. It's going to be Hale throwing those grenades over the top side. We see multiple members of AZ Slumber being lowered down. Now, is it going to be a full push, though? Agent X to actually pave the passage while Brian pulls down the stairwells. This is not going to be an easy task for them to really make a clean entry, because all four members of AZ stacked all the way up there by the addicts.
Hale can just, make it a hail of pain. Throw the util up there. Found some nades, mollies as well, just to really flush them out. I think Brian is anticipating this, rushes forward. This is not the right play, but he swings and he wins his. But Hale, you can always rely on them to trade back quickly. His teammates were just not close enough to play spoil sport. As Pazorix is gonna meet the full force of the team, but his teammates make the inside of this compound a meat grinder there. It's Helton and Munzi so far apart. Kido as well. Helton is just buying some time here, as Meryl is quite low. So there is gonna be that red alert sound, right? Meryl takes the full force of that nade, barely alive as well, decides to play together as a team, as Helton and Manzi will rendezvous with one another. This is huge because they have a two-man hold onto one compound, and Kido, if he's able to stay a little bit more hidden and quiet, could potentially find a nice big angle to work with if his teammates can pull away the attention.
Yeah, and this fight means a whole lot more towards 5-2. They are still leaps and bounds below the Homeboys. About 10 points in particular for this moment, while Helton holding himself fine inside of all these shacks. They're kind of segregated though, which is a little worrisome, but they do have a little bit of that zone to work around 70, so this fight will be on all the way up north, as they have yet to really break open this form of switcheroo that they're going up and about. So Shamils is also getting deeper involved, and that nade was what was necessary for them to go in for the flood.
Homeboys, this is their fight to win. They want to be able to secure it all the way till the end. Helton just buys a lot of time. Gonna just slowly make his way upwards. Did not drop down quite yet. Try to find a big opening for Kido, but Kido, I'm pretty sure that he's already been spotted off over at yellow. So if anything, he's in trouble. Yep, knocked down already as the rest of the team just follows through.
That part esports to make a call. I mean, they come in for the very far west. A lot of all these areas that are secluded, and right now DX they go charging up against the rest of CD Alliance. Luke alone inside of this bunker, and it doesn't seem like they've been able to trade back, even spotting out Jimmy from afar. It's 2 in a row for the Savior as they finally drop blood since they had a dismal run in Rondo. Coming out of the arena, despite them being so far away, I mean, that goes to show that they're a team not to be messed with as well. RRQ right now, getting the trade done, takes one member out of the side of Homeboys Machina. Lapart now dropping a couple of these nades over onto the side of Limboy, and Rill also getting taxed as well. It's a two-prong engagement coming in for the side of RRQ, and they're looking to wrap this one up. I believe they should be able to have a couple of deflates to throw right through. Not quite tipping just yet. Calling the entire cavalry to get this one sorted out. Ganyang soaking a lot of damage right there, but he still gets the knockdown. Comes a little bit of a switcheroo, and Rill will still be brought down. Beautiful footwork out of RRQ, but the troubles are not ending just yet. It's gonna be Talon moving right across to challenge the rest of Team Flash, but they will be brought down to the knees. Axel still staying afloat, and the rest of Team Flash are absolutely battered. Tops looking to bail out as they know that this is a lost cause. Talon Esports, they go in swinging, and they absolutely want out the trade.
But you know what? I think they're understanding how dangerous it is. They decided to take a fight onto Flash because why not, right? When you're so good, so aggressive, know how to play off each other like that, being able to swarm, why not just go in for this kill?
Yeah, they managed to also spot a clear angle as well. Potato now ring around to Rosie on his buggy as he's looking to see if there's going to be any other members of Team Flash. I mean, Tops is puffer fishing because he's acting like there is a full squad on his back, but they're not fools after all. Boy Esports, they will take this fight. 2 members coming in, but he still gets the job done. But there's still 3 more to go. Can they actually pull a miraculous comeback? But that's not going to be the case. Seta, he found the angle through the window pane.
That's a crazy crossfade from inside the house and that corner as well. Disgusted. And I do realize that Void is still maintaining their sub into this game as well, which is why I would say it's great seeing them play this week because they're trying to really hone that with their teammate. What a nade coming in. So knock down Wunti. And for MVKE, they're stuck. What are you going to do here? Break could make something happen. Lapar tries to go a bit more aggressive, but Break falls. It's a tag team situation for RRQ here. One hit goes up, but the other just trades. And Lapar is always quick on that as well. Yeah, MVKE tried to do a bit more damage. Merpeko does go down, but they still manage to survive as a 3.
Actually get the double knocks right through. And now with the rival of E-Arena, they capitalize on this situation. They get a knock out to Lapar and fall by the Peko at the very same time. Beautiful maneuver out of E-Arena to send out the victors of Rondo.
Sometimes when you have a player that's just been like one of the core, the pillars of the team, I think it should shake their style of play just a little bit more than usual. Tiger outside and trying to move away from the hail of utility coming in, but Richard somehow accidentally nades his own teammate, and through those smokes they rush forward here. VPE, they look ferocious right now. A very similar aggressive style play that we saw on E-Arena. But one thing's for sure though, for them, it's less about the surprise factor and more about how dominant they can be.
Points, direction, they got better things to do than to actually pick up a fight, so they are having Lambo to really open up a little bit more of that wiggle room into zone. Ripple being caught out, and that is by BTR coming in from the other side of the compound.
Very patient here, BTR. This is a great compound just to be and try to explode into the circle, brute force their way in.
Yeah, beautiful caps coming from the side of Exosphere to really single out Mormon more aggressively if they want to, since they do have the hovercraft. And another team goes aggressive. It's going to be D-Saber now leading charge, and Levi's immediately dropped by Axel.
Axel was just so patient, played that corner to perfection here. Parajin is the one to save his life. Have to be aware the Boost Slayer is inside as well. Catches him! No! The reaction time coming in from this guy is phenomenal. Talon understanding that if they stay, they won't be able to make it out alive. They gotta know when to leave the area. Lambor marking them for quite a while here.
Their safety comes first. There's still plenty of all these lurkers all across the field, and Razy's gonna be able to find one and punishes D-Saber.
They can come in from southern side, maybe take a fight against VPE, find Shin, the final member for D-Savior, or they could just try to rush forward, pass by VPE, play the middle side where there's barely enemy space to work with. Okay, there we go. That was pretty quick. Shin.
How much more can he actually take? As there's gonna be more than 4 grenades tossed towards his direction, and somehow, Happy Feet, he stays afloat for just a couple more seconds before the final few manage to tag him out.
The rest of BTR right now getting mad active. It felt like that blue zone was the activator for their aggression. And Talon, yeah, they have access to this area. The smokes can only keep them at bay for the time being because everyone just spraying at them left, right, and center. That cover from the tower gives nothing as well as Exosphere with full control of the northern side of the circle, completely taking out the members of EA who are supposed to be comfortable and happy in the middle side.
Yeah, they were really looking for that cover. That is the gas station, but it is being preoccupied by Void, and they're stuck in between, allowing the rest of Exosphere to capitalize, and that grenade seals the deal.
Activated brute force their way into the circle, and somehow they're just side by side by Void. Now the circle shifted northwards, both Indonesian teams out of that circle, and they're in a very, I would say they're a little bit more advantageous. They have a high ground, they have some terrains to work with compared to Talon right now, who is not only in the circle at the southern side, they're at the bottom side of the terrain and sandwiched between 3 different teams.
Happens right there. Circle now favors Exosphere. They might be the first PNNC team to be able to secure a chicken dinner, but we have to hold that top for now. And that nade was absolutely pixel perfect. It depletes the entirety of what?
Wait, I think it's Talons. I think they may have accidentally overcooked the nade. Or maybe they bounced it the wrong way northwards. Exosphere putting in pressure for both these teams. Zeta is feeling it. Potato definitely feeling it as well. And they don't have the numbers advantage. BTR with only 1 man left standing. Void, 1 player bleeding to death. And for Exosphere, they're activated. They're trying to get a little bit more active and aggressive. These smokes, doesn't matter. Shoots through. I'm not too sure if they noticed where the teammates are. No, they do know. He was trying to use his teammate to just really bait out more players to come forward. I don't think they care. Because Lobby's happy to take their life away if you're not going to rush forward for your friend.
Lobby's already secured 4, and there's definitely a whole lot more for him, as there is only BTR members left across the tower, and they've already been tagging them from all along. So they have that confidence to really send forward KNS to try to settle the scores. Or is he going proning? He's hoping to put a little bit more damage towards those members that's being weakened onto the tree sides. But the nades are coming right through. KNS tosses it a little too short. 1 chipping on the health bars on Ray-Z. BTR barely have enough space. It's about time. And the PMNC team finally secures it. And this could very well be the second chicken dinner from a Thai team. And yes, they will bring glory back to Bangkok, Thailand. Exosphere takes the win here in Wrangle Map 2.
In the main roster as well, but they are just going to be swapping him out throughout the entirety of the day regardless. But more of him would be really good. Okay, early fights already happening here. Yoru with that pickoff onto 4 as Naxel will be the one to get knocked down quickly. Narpeko, you gotta give it to this guy. He's always quick with that follow-up. So both teams taking heavy losses, 1 for 1, but RRQ now on the back foot. They have to go and really come together to go and pick up their fallen teammate. Not gonna be the easiest as well.
It's just so interesting watching them at work. I mean, they've been in the business of 2 separate teams, and right now going toe-to-toe on a 1v1 format. Yoru does lob in the nade, but it's even quicker coming from Bobo Ho. Boo Slayer with an off-angle pickoff makes it easy for Yoru to secure it. But then again, the rest of RQ is not within the sight of Milta, so they could not afford to really dive deep into the city in order to defend this current area. Whereas Jetfoss found another opening nade up against his ex-teammate of Eva's back then. And just like that, BTR is currently being split apart. Jetfoss looking to find that isolation, but it is going to be a desperate attempt coming out.
Taken away by Talon, you have another compound taken away by MVKE. That was a very dangerous rotation if you ask me as well. They were on buggies, they were on the safest of vehicles. Voin, understanding this predicament, took a lot of damage, but not enough to knock them out, so...
Yet, but they are just looking to full send it. I think they spot the vehicle, and they won to cause chaos here, to just run right through. Redface gets the first catch, but instead traded right back by Sneaky.
Oh, that is rough. Everyone is falling like flies, left, right, and center. Nakey, it's up to you to win this one. But do not underestimate Vexy and Razy. Yeah, they're barely breathing, barely alive. And once these is all it takes to take them down, But at the same time, one shot to the face is enough to knock him out.
They managed to nap 1 point very early on, and it seems like they cannot really stray too far from one another. Cellcom Digital Alliance now getting invaded. Zeus and the rest of Team Flash is here, but they try to make a quick work out of him. It is being retaliated by the 2 other members that still left alive.
Man, this rotation coming in from Flash is rough. Woohoo! Some GTA action. This is what I love to see here. Fabio's car is just on fire, and you know what? Forget the explosion of the car. A nice headshot is enough to knock him out of the park. And Hale, it felt like they approached that fight with a vengeance. They were definitely not happy with how, they were treated last game by Flash.
Not at all, and they're just going to settle scores right now. Meanwhile, Talon's going to do the same up against BTR. They've been in the center of the attention. Now with that shift the zone, seeing the rest of Talon moving right through.
And on top of that, if you break in, there's a possibility of that CQC situation. As Redface, you know what he delivers, needs. And it's always hella sharp.
Yeah, Superman's doing exactly the same, and right now he's trying to pick Razy off of that buggy. Razy forced to make a big U-turn just to go in for the save. Vexy needs to be brought back up. And the coast is not clear. Here comes the rest of Irina arriving all the way through the back, and just like that, defeats the rest of the members of BTR, leaving only Razy behind. He gets the trade up against Mormon, but that's not quite enough. The rest of Irina trying to prepare for the onslaught, but Razy, he's remaining elusive by the blue zone. They are finding it tough to actually catch him off guard, but they will be able to find that big swing. NC2 knock out of the blue zone. This is bad for E-Arena.
Yeah, you may have won the battle, but not the war, because MVKE was waiting for you as well. Joker is barely alive right now. He needs to survive this. He needs to bring his teammates back into the game. A nice strafe means he wins it in the end. But time is just definitely not exact. No, 30K is still alive, so they survive as a 2. FaZe is impressive, as Azami already solo as well. Mix as well, having so much trouble trying to move forward. Brian just struggling to stay alive. But Mix, that is the birthday buff nade that he needs. Gets the perfect pickoff onto Flash. But for the rest of the team, they are still very much in the dark. These smokes are not making it very easy. But when the smokes dissipate, it's all over for everyone, because you're just going to be all out free for all.
Yeah, you're also looking at the interest coming in from Vampire Esports. Mela have arrived over the back. And right now with flag coming right in. Zeus has got to settle scores real quick. He gets the drop over onto Brian. And right now looking for another catch. Looking for a 180 flick. Not quite enough just yet. Big damage being done, but the Rampage right through. Coming in from Birthday Boy Miz. Is going to be able to just pin him down. Only one member remain for the side of Team Flash. It's all down to win, and I don't think he's got the resources to really carry on fighting, because Vampire Esports is on the other corner.
Man, Win is just not out of the woods yet. He thought could just stay a bit more, quiet, stay and buy a bit more time. But Vampire Esports, once they mark you, feels like they have their talons into your body. You can't really get away. Here comes the first onslaught. The information's relayed, and here comes Red Bull. I feel like Red Bull today has just been incredible. Just these long-range pickoffs. So if he sees a tiny little micropixel, you're out. You're down and out as well. Win tried to survive that. No. And actually, the kill stolen away by 5-2. Every point matters for them as well.
It resulted in a better trade, 5-for-1. Losing out Mela in exchange for those points was absolutely worth it, in that sense where Mela tried to really open up a little bit more of that space for them in order to thrive. Meanwhile, the Savior doing exactly the same, but they are just leaving the sides of Pachinki to try to pick up a few members of all these blue squad over onto the other quarter. But it is looking rather difficult because they don't really have the full vision, but they are just trying to bombard right through the smokes. They managed to catch Hexus, but Noel's on the opposite side of the street. Xbox soaking 50% as well, and those nades are falling very closely in the retaliation of what Noel has to offer, and this might just be detrimental to both sides of the party, looking to finish in the top 5.
I have to say, the Xavier, despite only having 2, they still rush forward. 2-man army against the world right now. Shin, the only one left standing. Glue showing us that 4 guns is still better than 2.
Because they have definitely did a lot of proactive approach, but there's just no conversions whatsoever. And in comparison, Glue Squad is the one looking for the big conversions instead. That just got brought into this match, and now he's the final member remaining. He barely survives. He makes the jump right across, but the rest of Glue are on the chase. And there's just not enough space for him to work with. Baron Khan coming from right below.
Already, this game, Homeboys, is all about survivability, and this is their first kill the entire game.
And if they do end up with a chicken dinner, this would really supplement them in a chance for them to play in a super weekend. Elton right now holding them into position for the rest of them to do their job. And KF, he's going to be the last one out there to make those big swings. He gets the knock. And he still survives. Now down to Helton. With so little health, he has to force the first hit out in the middle open. There is just a little bit of smoke to cover his tracks for the moment. And now, 1 versus 1 over onto the corner. He's charging up a grenade to lob it directly towards KF. Oh. And he almost connects it. He does make a claim onto a fallen comrade of Glue. And finally, he nails it down. And now it's 5-2 into the top 3.
And if you want to try and push out forward, there's nothing for you to play with. You need your teammates to be able to work off each other as well, with understanding where Vampire is and giving a lot of respect to their individual prowess. Homeboys wants to see whether I can make this clean, but Red Bull, that ghillie suit, my god. Caught the whole team off guard. Trying to bring Limp Boy back into the game, but he's going to follow it up with that nade. Gonna be hitting him? No, bit too wide is still enough. Another one sent as a little present. But still, Keem is going to try and stick it. Whoop, he's very much back in the game.
Has been pretty impressive that they're very willing to go on individual prowess, because Huey's right now is being held hostage by the corner of the tree. A 1v1 duel, a 1v2, I must say, with Real as well as Shamil to try to really fully pin him in that position. While Limp Boy getting bombarded for the top side once again. Red Bull is really showing that he has some of the sharpest shots here to offer in the field, but he's getting caught out instead by Real's position, and right down from below, it will be the very first win for Malaysia in the form of Homeboys Magna Esports. So if there's any possibilities, they have to move towards the western direction and then find a little bit more cover through the terrain. Speaking of which, B-Saber right now is trying to halt the progress of the rest of these members of VD, but it seems like they could not really move too far off. And it's a fumble!
Oh no.
Oh, in the worst of timing for the side of Void Esports.
Oh,
and just
no.
like that, they got punished for it.
Yeah, and it's a very annoying terrain to work with as well. You go down, you're just very much sitting ducks here, and these Xaviers are so good at abusing these situations. They are not in the circle, but they still have space to work with, and whatever advantages they take, they turn it into diamonds. Zeta alone outside there in the corner in a 2v1. He's trying his best to be able to isolate these fights, but in this situation where Void are just crossing him left, right, and center, he managed to gun down one, excuse me. But the rest of the team, I think they're just going to say, you know what, sorry about that. Voxy running away with his life. And you think he's going to be safe? No, because he's going to run straight into Hale's arms. And the Xavier, oh man, this is looking so good right now with Hale as well. Out of the game here. Not the best outcome they wanted.
The timing is just so good. Meanwhile, AZ Slumber have been awakened right now. More long-range shots coming from Brian of their own, so they're looking to traverse even deeper within the fields. B-Saber now going up against Hale, and his Power Gen leading the pack, and they do find it in the former Shin now with his S12K to be able to deliver, but Hazorix finds a hit, not quite enough to take out Power Gen and Co. B-Saber right now on the roll.
Are we gonna be, just peppered by bullets as soon as we peek? And they don't want to risk that. And speaking of risking here, BTR going a little bit more aggressive. This is a three-way fight with BTR, 5-2, as well as VPE. Helton going ham right now. VPE completely obliterated. And Helton still holding on the fort as BTR pressures him.
Wow, this Lone Ranger is still pulling the stops, and he actually secures 3 points. Involved in the fight just yet. E-Arena, however, they gotta be careful of Exosphere while all the battles taking place over the far west. D-Saber now exchanging those grenades, and that's a big clip! Taking down two, and it's the full send coming out of AZ Slumber, putting them to sleep.
Honestly, this is massive. We were just talking about how AZ was hesitating. D-Xavier forced that fight, and they have been more than they can chew. Lambor is still very much alive here, but against an army, I don't know, man. That's an avalanche here. You don't have advantage on the terrain. The circle is shifting as well. Brian will be the one to try and go a little bit more aggressive. He jumps on the vehicle here in a 1v1. Can he win it? No, because his teammates are going to rush forward as well to give him a bit more space. But E-Arena, these long-range shots are just lethal. They put in so much pressure onto the members of BTR. I think they chipped like, half the HP of Vexy away here. As AZ tries to break the combat. What a toss Federales! Hello! This is why I'm a big fan of this guy, man.
Exactly is halted right now. I can't really see him in the map. But hey, the rest of E-Arena, they're definitely having a smooth passage in order to claim the direct center if they want to. They know that there's not too much happening over on the edge, so they can just bypass easily. But now, we lock and load right into this warehouse where Talon Esports goes toe-to-toe up against Blue Squad. He got the photo, but he cannot take this fight. And now they really get to take all these really cheeky positions. BTR tries to clear the room. Helton still squeezing by the tight little corner and finally hitting the mark. Oh, that was beautiful stuff from Ritface without needing to even put his hate right into those trades, but it doesn't seem like they've been able to really hit the mark just yet. Now, Ritface has got to make a run across, though. How exactly is he going to do so without being spotted out is going to be a big question right now. While back and forth, the rest of them are just pulling so defensively. Cellcom Digital Alliance right now got to make decisions because right across there's a team that wants to bypass. Well, Blue Squad is only tagging upon them, and they manage to catch Sin Boy.
And then, while the pressure is coming through, Homeboys comes in as well, but somehow CD Alliance turns the tables. Yeah, Jimmy falls as well, but Leons is still coming in from the other area. A nice spray to the face, and Homeboys wishes they didn't crash into CD Alliance. But before they can even reset, RQ joins the spray.
A little bit of age of coverage, and RQ, they don't really have the best position. And now, the snipe comes from the backcoat. Scratch that, I'll take my words back.
It's got chip damage here, and Glue challenges and rallies! And they have no clue where to look or where to go. You have those smoke plates also becoming a deterrent for them as well. Xbox doing great to juke everything. And the rest of Glue, all we have to do is just throw in those nades, and suddenly everyone in RQ are just going to fall. RQ.
Yeah, they're just being bunched up over onto that corner where those nades those squats over onto the corner. Now it's E-Arena that they have to fight up against, which is taking the majority of zone, and now also spotting out with the rest of T-Flash across the corner between these two teams. And they're the ones on the deficit in the form of numbers.
That's insane. Glue has been only playing as a 3 for quite some time, and they're not stopping their aggressive style of play regardless of everything. Now, Xbox has been caught out here. They were a little bit too zoned in on the team in front of them, so will pay for their sins. It's an off angle as well, crossfire that I think they failed to piss clear. Regardless, this circle, I wouldn't say it's in anyone's control, but a little bit more value toward E-Arena. E-Arena came in from the northern side. They took their fights one by one. They were a little bit more scattered earlier when it comes to the earlier of these fights. But again, their individual brilliance, won them the game. I really was hoping for a team to really challenge them as a 2, especially since they are a team that likes to play so separated. By this situation, you didn't take the advantage, and now E-Arena are just completely gonna dominate the end as well. And a lot of these teams are taking the fights. E-Arena's not even forcing anything. They're not taking up their space. They're not forcing these fights. And the nade just comes through Tourniquet. That is disgusting. And comes through, follows up with a kill shot. Glue and Flash. One player left here. Tops gets a top up, and he's also getting his teammate back into the game. Joko rushes forward, shoots the whole team in the face. Glue, whatever you've built has been eliminated, and so does Flash. What are you gonna do here, Noel? You can dance, but you can't avoid everything forever. Formalities are here, and E-Arena is gonna take another chicken dinner. Let's go.
E-Arena finally being rewarded after all these trials and tribulations they've been fighting for.
The early game was very, very slow. No one's going in for these full fights. at least everyone got a bite of that cake.
That's true, and Lee's managing it so it's going to be vital in the long run. The Savior, this, with them completing the run, having 83 points, definitely secures it for the weekend as they manage to move themselves all the way into the 5th position. That part esports after that chicken dinner for 5 points to be able to give chase once again. So tomorrow, super exciting for those teams to be meeting up against each other, especially Alter Ego needing to once again race up against.
Right now, the benchmark right now is 30 points, right? With 5-2 on there as well. I think I'm not too sure how much Homeboys got.